Okay, what if I told you there's a way to study that's so fast, so effective, it almost feels like you're cheating? We're going to break it down. This isn't about studying harder, nope. This is about finding a cheat code for learning that will totally change the game for you.
You know this feeling, right? You spend your entire weekend locked in your room. You say no to your friends. You miss out on everything. And for what? To get the same grade as the person who just crammed the night before. It is so frustrating, it can make you feel like, what's even the point?
But listen, I need you to hear this loud and clear. If you're feeling that way, the problem is not your brain, and it's not how much effort you're putting in. It's not your fault. The real issue is that most of us were taught these ancient, super inefficient ways to study. You've been working hard, just not smart.
So, you know what? Let's fix that. Starting right now, we're going to build you a brand new system, step by step.
First up, we have to prime your brain. Before you even think about opening a textbook, you gotta lay the foundation. And yeah, that means getting your head in the right space, and believe it or not, grabbing the right snacks.
Now, you might think this mindset stuff is just some motivational fluff, but it's not. It's real science. Get this, a Harvard study told hotel cleaning staff that their work was basically a good workout. And guess what? They actually saw real health benefits, like a drop in blood pressure. Your brain literally does what you tell it to.
So you have to consciously flip the script in your head. No more, this is going to take forever. From now on, you're telling yourself, this is easy. I'm going to knock this out fast. You are literally giving your brain a command to be more focused and efficient before you even start.
Okay, now for the physical side of this. We all do it, right? When we're stressed and studying, we reach for sugary junk food. This is a massive mistake. That sugar rush feels good for a minute, but the crash that comes after absolutely destroys your focus.
And look, the fix is super simple. Research from places like UCLA shows that a ton of sugar literally slows down your brain. So just swap out the candy and soda for things that actually boost your brain, like nuts, or fish, or berries. You get way better memory and focus, and none of that awful sugar fog.
All right, is your brain primed? Good. Because now we get to the core strategy, finding the study gold. Think about it like a gold miner. They don't just start digging anywhere, right? They look for the richest veins of gold. That is exactly what you need to do with your textbooks and notes.
And the secret map to finding that gold? Well, it all comes down to two little numbers, 80-20.
This is called the 80-20 rule, or the Pareto principle. And here's what it means for you and your next exam. Roughly 80% of the questions are going to come from just 20% of the material. Your job isn't to learn every single word in the textbook, it's to find and absolutely master that critical 20%. So, how in the world do you find this magical 20%? Well, you put on your detective hat. First, get your hands on old exams and look for patterns. Second, pay close attention to the topics your professor talks about, constantly. That's a huge clue. Third, stop rereading entire chapters and go straight for the summaries. And finally, go after your weakest areas. That's where you'll make the biggest gains. Okay, so you found the gold. You know what to focus on. Now it's time to race the clock. We're about to change your relationship with time. Instead of it being your enemy, we're going to make it your greatest ally.
This whole idea is based on something called Parkinson's Law, and you already know exactly what this is. If you have all day to study one chapter, how long does it take? All day. The task just feels bigger, and you find ways to procrastinate and fill up all that time.
So, the big question is, how do you beat this thing? How do you stop stretching out your work and actually take back control of your schedule?
The answer is actually so simple, it's genius. You set the deadline. Get a timer on your phone. Don't just say, I'll study this afternoon. No. Say, I am going to master this concept in the next 45 minutes, go. That ticking clock creates urgency and forces your brain to be laser focused. You'll be blown away by what you get done.
And that brings us to our final technique. And honestly, this might be the most powerful part of the entire system. We need to completely change how you think about mistakes. They're not failures. They're not something to be embarrassed about. They are the single best learning opportunity you will ever have.
It sounds kind of backwards, but the research is clear on this. You learn more and faster from your mistakes than from just passively reading the right answers. The act of getting something wrong, figuring out why, and then fixing it, that process creates a way stronger connection in your brain. It's powerful active learning.
So, how do you actually do this? Here's the framework, a simple 3-step plan. 1.
take practice tests. You have to actively test yourself to find where you're weak. 2. Create a mistake log. I mean a dedicated notebook or a doc where you write down every single thing you get wrong and why. 3. Right before the real exam, your most important study guide isn't the textbook, it's that mistake log. That is your personalized, high-octane secret weapon.
So let's just be really clear about something. None of this is about cheating the system. It's about understanding how your brain actually works and then using that knowledge to your advantage. It's about being strategic, it's about being focused, and it's about being incredibly efficient with your time.
Because at the end of the day, this whole thing isn't really about getting a better GPA. It's about getting your life back. So when you can get all your studying done in just a fraction of the time, the real question is, what are you going to do with all that